You're watching France24. It's time now for our daily look at the international papers. Helen Papper joins me in the studio. Good morning, Helen.
Good morning.
We've been seeing some pretty incredible images coming out of Burma over the last few days, and I know that the facts are sort of now establishing themselves. What about the opinion in the world press?
There is a lot of opinion in the world press. Take a look, for instance, at the Lebanese paper L'Orient Le Jour. They've got a very interesting cartoon which kind of sums it all up. I have a dream for Burma. It's a very telling drawing, quite representative of the mood in lots of papers. The protests are raising hope for many in the country and abroad that this could really be a new beginning and mark the end of a harsh dictatorship which really has lasted over 40 years. And so you have the article in the British paper, for instance, The Independent, which picks up on that same theme. No injustice can last forever. Those are the words of the title. They're also the words of the Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, the British Prime Minister, who sent out this message to the Burmese government as a response to the threats of unspecified action against the government. The government said it would take against the monks if they didn't stop their movement. There is a fear right now of a massive crackdown by the junta, which could mean massive arrests and detentions. And for the regime, what's happening right now in Burma is a huge risk. According to Andrew Bukombe, the Independent's Asia correspondent, he's saying that the number of ordinary people willing to take this risk of going out into the streets and protesting is impressive, and it's growing every day. So this really means something. In another opinion piece, there's also the Sons of Buddha have little choice but to march. So it sums it all up. Meanwhile, there's the Burmese paper there, Irrawaddy. This paper, based in Thailand, has several moving op-eds and commentaries about how people are living this. There's this article, Seeing Suu Kyi, Tears on University Avenue, rather. Suu Kyi is one of the leading fighters against the junta, and she's been in house arrest, basically, for about 17 years now. And this commentator talks about the excitement he felt when he saw that the monks started walking towards her home, and he rushed to a telephone booth to go call his friends, and he realized there were dozens of people waiting in line to make the same phone call. So it really shows the excitement that's going on.
Indeed, and of course that was the first sighting for about 4 years of Aung San Suu Kyi, so fairly momentous events in Burma this week. But to the Big Apple now, somebody else is making the headlines there. Who's that?
That's right, it's the Iranian leader Ahmadinejad. He spoke at Columbia University yesterday, and it's making lots of headlines. The Jerusalem Post is still up in arms over it. Can't believe that they opened their doors to the Iranian leader. They're even asking a tongue-in-cheek question there: whose turn will it be next year? Osama bin Laden. So that really sums it up. Then you've got the Spanish paper El País. Sums up a bit what the Iranian leader touched upon, saying that it's discombobulated and rather complicated. Ahmadinejad wonders who really is responsible for 9/11, also asks for an investigation into the Holocaust. So he touches upon a lot of different issues.
And finally, from this unreality show, as it's being called in the New York Times, I believe, we turn to something a bit lighter, still in the US though.
Yes, and this time it's a reality show, and the reality show on television called The Game Killers. It's in Le Monde. There's an interesting article explaining how the entire game is created, basically produced by the company Unilever to promote their brand of deodorant, Axe. And it's coming back to the origins of soap operas, because soap operas used to be these moving stories that were on in the afternoon and that were sponsored by soap brands. And now you've got this new show, which is not sponsored by a soap brand, but it's actually all about this deodorant. So we're going to see where that takes us. It's
goodness me, that could run and run. Helen Papper, thank you very much indeed for that review of today's papers. Stay tuned to France24.